The semester flew by in a blur of classes, late-night talks, and stolen moments that strengthened the bond between Alyssa and Kayla. Their connection grew so natural that neither could imagine their days without the other. But as the first semester drew to a close, the looming reality of the long break hung over them like a cloud. The girls, along with the rest of the students, stood at the bus stop, their suitcases lined up neatly as they waited for their rides home. The air was filled with chatter and laughter, but Alyssa's heart felt heavier with every passing minute. Kayla, standing close to Alyssa, broke the silence. "I'm going to miss you, honey," she said, her voice soft yet deliberate. Alyssa's cheeks flushed. She glanced around, lowering her voice. "Kayla, you're calling me honey in public. Don't you know people will suspect us?" Kayla tilted her head, a mischievous smile playing on her lips. "Does it matter? What matters is what we feel for each other, Alyssa, not what people think." Alyssa looked down at her shoes, her heart beating faster. "I'll miss you, too. It's only 5 weeks. We'll be back again soon." Kayla reached out, brushing Alyssa's hand lightly with her fingers, a touch so fleeting that no one else noticed. "5 weeks feels like forever when I can't see you," Kayla said, her voice barely above a whisper. Alyssa chuckled, trying to lighten the mood. "You're so dramatic. It's not that long." "It is when you're not around," Kayla shot back, her tone playful, but her eyes serious. They continued to chat, trying to savor the last moments together. Kayla told stories about how she planned to spend her break, and Alyssa shared her mixed feelings about returning home. Then, a distant rumble broke the moment. Alyssa's bus pulled up to the stop, its brakes hissing as it came to a halt. Alyssa turned to Kayla, her throat tightening. "That's my bus. I have to go." Kayla stepped closer, her smile softening. "Come here." Alyssa hesitated for a second before stepping into Kayla's open arms. They hugged, the world around them fading into the background. Kayla held her tightly, whispering into her ear, "I'll be thinking about you every day." Alyssa pulled back slightly, her voice trembling. "Me too." As she picked up her suitcase and moved toward the bus, Kayla's eyes followed her. Alyssa glanced back one last time before stepping inside. Their gazes locked, and Alyssa gave a small, bittersweet smile. The bus door closed, and as it began to pull away, Kayla stood rooted in place, watching until Alyssa disappeared from view. Kayla turned to leave, her chest heavy, when her phone buzzed. She looked down at the screen, her heart skipping a beat at the unexpected message. "I don't think I can wait 5 weeks to see you again." Episode 14. An Unexpected Reunion. The grocery store wasn't too crowded that afternoon. Alyssa pushed her cart lazily through the aisles, picking up snacks and a few other essentials her mom had asked for. Her mind was wandering, thinking about Kayla, the time they had spent together, and how much she already missed her. "Is this how 5 weeks is supposed to feel?" she muttered to herself, shaking her head. As she turned into another aisle, a voice called out, "Alyssa?" She froze. The voice was warm, familiar, yet distant, like a forgotten melody. Slowly, she turned around, and her heart skipped a beat. "Jackson," she said, her eyes wide. "Oh my gosh, am I dreaming?" Jackson laughed, his deep voice filled with amusement. "You're not dreaming. It's me." Alyssa dropped the item she was holding into her cart and walked closer. "Look at you. You're back. It's been years. You're so handsome," Jackson teased, flashing a grin. Alyssa laughed. "I was going to say taller, but sure, that works." Jackson shook his head, giving her a playful once-over. "And look at you, Alyssa. You've grown into a beautiful woman. Is that why your brother's been hiding you all this time?" Alyssa blushed, waving him off. "Oh, stop it. You're still in touch with Kennedy?" "Yeah, recently," Jackson said, crossing his arms. "I thought about you guys a few months ago and decided to search for his name online. Since then, we've been catching up. I even asked for your Instagram, but your brother said I had to ask you directly." Alyssa rolled her eyes, laughing. "Kennedy will never change." Jackson chuckled. "I thank God you know him. So, how's life treating you?" It's good. I'm in college now, studying accounting, Alyssa replied, smiling proudly. That's great, Jackson said. Then, after a pause, he added, You know what? Can I have your number so we can catch up properly? Maybe in a better place than a grocery store? Alyssa hesitated briefly, then nodded. Sure. She typed her number into his phone. Jackson grinned. I'm so happy to see you, Alyssa. You've made my day. Me too, Alyssa said, feeling a warm glow. Okay, take care, Jackson said, waving as he walked away. Alyssa stood there for a moment, her heart fluttering. With a wide smile, she finished her shopping and headed home. When Alyssa got home, she found Kennedy in the sitting room, pressing away on his laptop. Kenny, she called out as she walked in. He glanced up briefly. You're back? Yeah, Alyssa said, dropping her shopping bags on the floor. By the way, you didn't tell me Jackson is back in town? Kennedy shrugged, still typing. Oh yeah, he's back. I forgot. Alyssa narrowed her eyes. Are you sure you forgot? Or did you just refuse to tell me? Kennedy smirked. Why? Did he mention it? Yes, he even told me you refused to give him my Instagram handle. Kennedy leaned back, grinning. And just a few minutes of meeting him, you've already discussed all that? Alyssa laughed, sitting down beside him. I don't know why you guys don't want your friends talking to your sisters. Kennedy rolled his eyes. Alyssa, go away. I'm busy. Alyssa stood, still smiling. I'm going. She carried her shopping bags to the kitchen, her phone buzzing just as she finished unpacking. She picked it up and saw Jackson's name. Hello? Hey, Alyssa, Jackson said warmly. I was wondering if you'd like to meet up tomorrow. Not a date, just to catch up. Alyssa laughed. A date? Jackson quickly corrected himself, laughing. Okay, not a date. Let's just call it a meeting to chat. She teased. I was just kidding. When and where? How about tomorrow evening? I'll pick you up at 5 p.m. Okay, Alyssa said. But you must let my brother know. Don't worry. I'll handle Kennedy, Jackson assured her. The next day, at exactly 5 p.m., Alyssa descended the stairs wearing a stunning gown. Kennedy and Jackson were already chatting in the sitting room, their laughter filling the air. Kennedy looked up, raising an eyebrow. Whoa, Alyssa, I'm giving you guys 2 hours. Alyssa grinned. I'll take 4. She kissed his forehead playfully. See you soon, big bro. Kennedy smirked. Is that a bribe? Jackson chuckled and shook Kennedy's hand. I'll take care of her. Don't worry. Kennedy pointed at them both. Just remember, I can only cover her absence for 3 hours when Mom comes back. Don't worry, Jackson assured him. We'll be home early. With that, Jackson and Alyssa left the house, the door closing behind them. As they walked to the car, Jackson glanced at Alyssa and said, You know, I've been waiting years for this moment. Alyssa turned to him, her heart skipping a beat. Years for what? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The restaurant was beautiful, softly lit with warm golden lights that gave the place an air of intimacy. Alyssa sat across from Jackson at a small, round table near the window. Outside, the city lights sparkled, but her focus was entirely on the man sitting in front of her. Jackson's eyes softened as he spoke. When we left the city, it was because of my mom's illness. She was admitted to a special hospital in another town. The doctors said it was the only chance we had. Alyssa leaned forward, her voice gentle. I remember. You told me she wasn't doing well before you left. Jackson nodded, his jaw tightening. We did everything we could, but she didn't make it. He paused, his gaze dropping to his hands. It was the hardest thing I've ever been through. I'm so sorry, Jackson, Alyssa said softly, reaching out to place her hand over his. She was an amazing woman. She was, Jackson said, his lips curving into a sad smile. And she adored you and your family. She always said you had the brightest smile she'd ever seen. Alyssa smiled, blinking back the tears threatening to form. I missed you, Jackson. I missed all of you. Jackson's expression brightened slightly. I missed you too. You were my best friend, Alyssa. Do you remember all the crazy things we used to do? Alyssa laughed. How could I forget? You always dragged me into trouble, like that time we played in the rain and got caught by my mom. Jackson chuckled, the sound warm and familiar. And do you remember what else happened that day? Alyssa's cheeks flushed. Our first kiss. It was perfect, Jackson said, his eyes locking on hers. Even if we were soaked to the bone. Alyssa laughed nervously, looking away. You always remember those moments. Because they were special, Jackson said, his voice dropping to a serious tone. I want them back, Alyssa. I want us back. I want my first love back. Alyssa's heart skipped, her breath catching in her throat. She stared at him, unsure of what to say. Jackson quickly raised his hands. I'm sorry if I said something wrong, but you've been in my heart all these years, and now that I'm seeing you again, I don't want to lose you. Not again. Alyssa hesitated, her voice shaky. Can I think about this? At least for a day? Of course, Jackson said, his voice soft. But please, Alyssa, don't say no. Just think about it. Alyssa nodded slowly, unsure of her own feelings. Before she could respond, the waitress appeared, setting their food on the table. The moment shifted, and they continued chatting as they ate, sharing memories of their childhood and catching up on the years they'd missed. Jackson's laughter was infectious, and Alyssa found herself relaxing despite the whirlwind of emotions swirling in her chest. After dinner, Jackson drove Alyssa home. He stepped out of the car and walked around to open the door for her, just as he had done when they left earlier. Can I hug you? Jackson asked softly. Alyssa smiled, her heart fluttering. Sure. Jackson pulled her into a tight embrace, his arms wrapping around her protectively. Before pulling away, he leaned down and kissed her forehead. Alyssa felt her heart race as her body responded instinctively. Her lips parted slightly, thinking he might kiss her there too. But Jackson pulled back, his gaze tender. I'll text you, my love, he said softly. Alyssa blinked, slightly disappointed but trying not to show it. Yeah, take care. She walked into the house, her heart pounding, and found her mom in the sitting room. Hi, Mom, she greeted, leaning down to kiss her cheek. Her mom smiled. Kennedy said you went to see a friend. Alyssa nodded. Yeah. Well, go change quickly. Dinner will be ready soon. Yes, Mom, Alyssa replied, heading upstairs. Inside her room, Alyssa changed into her lounge clothes and sat on her bed, her mind racing. She touched her forehead where Jackson had kissed her, the memory sending a ripple through her. Why do I feel so connected to Jackson? She whispered to herself. To the point my body was melting into his touch? Does this mean I can like a man and a woman at the same time? She thought of Kayla, her warmth, her laughter, the way she made Alyssa feel free and alive. But now Jackson was stirring something deep in her too. I love Kayla, she murmured, but I feel something for Jackson too. How is that even possible? Lost in thought, she didn't hear her mom call her name the first time. Alyssa! Her mom's voice startled her, and she quickly snapped out of it. Yes, Mom? Come down, dinner is ready. Coming, Alyssa called back, her mind still a whirlwind of emotions as she stood up and headed downstairs. As she reached the dining room, her phone buzzed. Glancing at the screen, her heart skipped a beat. It was a text from Kayla. I miss you so much it hurts. Call me?